China's dramatically increased military drills conducted right in the middle of the Taiwan Strait have completely stunned Japan, prompting an unprecedented show of aerial force from Tokyo to counter Beijing's provocative maneuvers. Japan swiftly launched 16 heavily armed F-2 fighter jets, equipped with a formidable total of 64 anti-ship missiles in direct response to the aggressive operations of the Chinese Navy encroaching on regional waters. At least 16 Japanese F-2 fighters were publicly observed conducting intense training flights at the strategic Tsuiki Air Base on December 9, signaling Japan's heightened state of combat readiness. Tsuiki Air Base serves as the primary home station for two elite tactical fighter squadrons that exclusively operate the advanced F-2 fighter jets, forming a critical pillar of Japan's maritime strike capability. Each of these powerful squadrons consists of 20 state-of-the-art aircraft, including 18 single-seat F-2A fighters optimized for strike missions and 2 versatile twin-seat F-2B aircraft for training and command roles. Such a simultaneous deployment of fighters fully armed with anti-ship missiles represents an unusual and rare occurrence for Japan's typically restrained self-defense forces, marking a bold escalation. Military analysts suggest these decisive actions were specifically intended to deter the People's Liberation Army Navy's Liaoning aircraft carrier from operating provocatively near the vulnerable Kyushu Island chain. After deliberately passing through the internationally disputed Miyako Strait on December 6, the carrier suddenly changed course to steam menacingly south of Okinawa, testing Japan's defensive perimeter. During this tense period of confrontation, the carrier's Chinese J-15 fighters aggressively activated their radars to lock onto and target nearby Japanese F-15 fighters, simulating attack profiles. Tensions between Tokyo and Beijing have been dramatically inflamed following a bold statement issued by Japan's Prime Minister Takaichi, who refused to rule out military involvement in a Taiwan crisis. Takaichi openly hinted that Japan stands fully prepared to use military force if necessary in the event of a potential full-scale conflict erupting over Taiwan's sovereignty and independence. Beijing furiously accused Takaichi of brazenly interfering in China's sacred internal affairs regarding Taiwan and sternly demanded that she immediately withdraw her provocative and inflammatory statement. On December 28, the Japan Times reported that China may have deliberately tested both Japan and the U.S.'s military readiness and response times across the vast Pacific theater through calculated provocations. Japanese defense sources revealed that China strategically tested Allied military responses by deploying the Liaoning carrier deep into contested waters near Japan during the height of December tensions. China boldly sent its Liaoning carrier group surging into the open Pacific perilously near Japanese territory, while simultaneously its long-range bombers flew in formation alongside Russian strategic bombers. These coordinated Chinese and Russian forces reportedly approached but maintained a calculated distance from Japan's sensitive air defense identification zone, probing without immediate crossing red lines. At precisely that critical moment, the United States was conducting large-scale joint military exercises with Japan in the waters south of the Kanto region in eastern Japan, enhancing interoperability. Japanese defense source said, and I quote, "The intention is not clear, but after watching the reaction of Japan and the United States on the security front." Amid deteriorating Japan-China relations, Beijing may have avoided provoking the U.S. military partly as a diplomatic decision. Unquote. These joint bomber flights executed in tandem with Russia serve as a clear and unmistakable message to both Japan and the United States that China is deliberately not acting alone in asserting regional dominance. The overt signaling is meticulously aimed at psychological deterrence and calculated intimidation rather than initiating actual combat, amid steadily worsening bilateral relations between Japan and China.